7 non-traditional military exercises that build more strength than the gym. Okay, let's not be hypocrites. The gym is indeed an excellent place to evolve, build strength, and transform your body. But be honest, how many times have you gone in there and repeated the same sequence of bench press, squat, bicep curl, week after week? It works, but it also limits you. Your body adapts, your stabilizer muscles weaken, and you end up becoming strong only in predictable movements. Now think about those who can't afford that luxury. Soldiers. They need to carry, drag, climb, react. Military training doesn't ask how much weight you lift. It tests how your body moves under real pressure, and that's exactly what's missing in most gym routines. That's why, today, you'll see 7 non-conventional military exercises that build functional, raw, and transferable strength for any type of real-life situation. Before we begin, please tell us through the comments your name and the city where you're watching our content from. We'd love to know. Exercise number 1, plank pull-through. The traditional plank is already a respectable exercise for the core, but when you add resistance and dynamic movement, you transform a static exercise into a complete functional strength tool. The plank with drag emerged in tactical training programs because it simulates real situations where soldiers need to maintain stability while manipulating objects under the body. This movement intensely works the anti-rotational musculature of the core, especially the obliques, rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, and the spinal erectors. The crucial difference lies in the asymmetry of the movement. When you drag the kettlebell from one side to the other, you create an imbalance that your stabilizer muscles must constantly compensate for. It's this compensation that builds real strength. Additionally, it recruits anterior deltoids, serratus anterior, and all the scapular musculature that works to keep the shoulders stable while one arm executes the dragging movement. To execute correctly, position yourself in a high plank with hands directly under the shoulders, body forming a straight line from heels to head. Place a kettlebell beside your body. With one hand, pull the weight underneath your trunk to the opposite side, then return to plank position with both hands supported. Alternate sides. The secret is in resisting rotation. Imagine you're balancing a water bottle on your back and can't let it fall. Your hips should remain perfectly level, parallel to the floor throughout the entire movement. The main errors to avoid are allowing the hips to rotate or rise during the weight drag, placing the hands too close together, reducing the base of support, using a kettlebell that's too heavy before mastering the technique, and letting the core relax between repetitions. Start with 3 sets of 6 to 8 drags per side, using a kettlebell of 8 to 13 pounds. When you can maintain stable hips during all repetitions, progress by increasing the weight in 4-pound increments or adding more repetitions up to 10 per side. Exercise number 2, Jefferson curl. The Jefferson curl is one of the most controversial yet most powerful exercises for spinal mobility. Initially developed in Olympic gymnastics programs and adopted by elite military units, this movement challenges everything you learned about keeping your back straight. It works the entire posterior chain, from the base of the skull to the heels, emphasizing flexibility, range of motion, and eccentric strength of the spine, spinal erectors, hamstrings, and glutes. What makes this exercise particularly valuable is its ability to train spinal control in extreme flexion positions. In real life, you don't always manage to maintain a neutral spine when you need to pick something up from the floor or bend in tight spaces. This movement teaches your nervous system to maintain control even in ranges that would normally be dangerous. To execute it correctly, stand on a box or step with feet parallel. Hold a light weight with arms extended in front of the body. Start by lowering your chin toward your chest, then curl the spine vertebra by vertebra, lowering the weight in front of the legs. Continue descending beyond the feet, allowing the spine to round completely in a controlled manner. Reverse the movement at the same speed, unrolling the spine from bottom to top until returning to the upright position. The key is absolute control. Each segment of the spine must move individually, not as a block. The movement should take 5 to 7 seconds to descend and the same to ascend. The main errors to avoid are using too much weight before developing the necessary mobility, descending too quickly, losing segmental control of the spine, starting the movement from the hips instead of the cervical spine, and holding your breath during execution. Start with just body weight or a dumbbell of 4, 2, 9 pounds. Execute 3 sets of 5 to 6 slow repetitions. When you master the movement pattern, progress by increasing the weight in 2 to 4 pound increments or adding 1 repetition per set. This exercise is contraindicated for people with diagnosed disc herniations, severe osteoporosis, acute spinal injuries, or history of recent spinal surgery. Exercise number 3, waiter's walk. The waiter's walk takes everything difficult about the unilateral walk and adds the vertical challenge that few exercises can replicate. This movement was used in combat training to develop shoulder stability in adverse conditions, simulating carrying equipment overhead during marches or evacuations. Now you're holding weight overhead, and your shoulder stability, thoracic mobility, and core control are tested simultaneously. What many people don't know is that overhead strength isn't about your deltoids. It's about your ability to create a stable structure from hand to feet. This exercise intensely works the lateral and anterior deltoid, complete rotator cuff, serratus anterior, upper and middle trapezius, lats, external and internal obliques, quadratus lumborum, and gluteus medius on the side opposite the weight. When a weight is overhead, all these muscles form an integrated chain. If any link is weak, everything collapses. That's why people who bench press 132 pounds sometimes can't walk with 18 pounds overhead without swaying. To execute correctly, grab a kettlebell or dumbbell of 11 to 15 pounds. Press the weight overhead with one arm, elbow completely locked, bicep close to the ear, wrist aligned directly over the shoulder. Look slightly toward the weight, not forward. The opposite arm stays loose at the side of the body for balance. Now walk with slow and controlled steps. Keep the ribs down, don't let them flare. Core locked, as if someone were going to punch you in the abdomen. Walk for 20 feet, turn and return. The main errors to avoid are allowing the weight to shift forward of the shoulder, losing vertical alignment, letting the elbow flex during the walk, excessively arching the lower back, compensating for lack of thoracic mobility, leaning the trunk laterally instead of maintaining upright posture, and walking too fast, sacrificing stability. If the weight starts going forward or your elbow bends, the exercise is over. Place the weight on the ground with control, switch arms, and repeat. Execute 3 sets of 20-foot walks per arm. When you can maintain perfect posture, progress by increasing the distance to 26 to 33 feet or adding 2 to 4 pounds of weight. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress healthily in the long term in the bodybuilding world. Exercise number 4, bear crawl. Most men over 50 haven't been on all fours since childhood, and this is a serious problem for functional longevity. Your body was designed to move in multiple planes, front, back, rotational, and at ground level. When you completely abandon ground level movement, your brain literally forgets how to coordinate whole body patterns. The bear crawl reconnects this coordination faster than anything else. This isn't cardio, it's neural reprogramming. Each step in this exercise forces your arm and opposite leg to work together in contralateral movement, the same pattern you use when walking, running, and throwing. But when you're on the ground, gravity loads differently. This movement intensely works anterior and lateral deltoids, serratus anterior, all core musculature including rectus abdominis and transverse abdominis, quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings. Your core has to stabilize against rotation with every step. Your shoulders have to support a significant percentage of body weight. It's primal strength coming back online. To execute correctly, get on all fours with hands directly under shoulders and knees under hips. Lift the knees about 2 inches off the ground. That's your starting position. Move one hand forward approximately 6 inches. Simultaneously advance the opposite knee the same distance. Alternate sides keeping the knees always elevated. Steps should be small and controlled, never exceeding 8 inches. Keep hips perfectly level, don't let them sway side to side. Back in neutral position, neither arched nor rounded. Head in neutral position, following the line of the spine. Breathe naturally, don't hold your breath. The main errors to avoid are allowing the hips to sway laterally with each step, taking steps that are too long losing stability, letting the knees touch the ground between steps, excessively arching or rounding the lower back, and moving only arms or only legs instead of coordinating both. Start by walking 10 feet forward, then 10 feet backward. Walking backward is significantly more difficult because your brain isn't programmed for this pattern. But that's exactly why it works so well. Execute 3 sets of 10-foot walks back and forth. When you can maintain perfect form, progress by increasing the distance to 16 feet or adding a fourth set. Exercise number 5, Casac squat. Most traditional strength exercises are done exclusively in the sagittal plane, moving only forward and backward. Completely neglecting movement in the frontal plane drastically increases injury risk and leaves enormous unexplored performance potential. The Casac squat, originating from Eastern European military physical preparation practices, is essentially a deep squat on one leg while the other stays completely extended to the side. This movement intensely works the vastus medialis and lateralis of the quadriceps, gluteus maximus and medius, complete adductors of the squatting leg, and the abductors of the extended leg. Working in the frontal plane is fundamental for strength that translates to real physical activities. Think of any athletic or functional movement: changing direction while running, descending an irregular staircase, picking something up from the floor in an uncomfortable position. All require lateral strength and mobility. This exercise can significantly increase strength in the connective tissue between hip, knee, and ankle, keeping the lower body healthier and more resistant to injuries. To execute it correctly, stand with feet apart, approximately twice shoulder width, toes slightly pointed outward. Transfer weight completely to one leg, flexing that knee and hip while descending into a deep squat. Simultaneously, keep the opposite leg completely extended, with heel on the ground and toes pointing upward. Descend as much as your mobility allows, ideally until the hip is below the knee line. Push through the heel of the flexed leg to return to starting position. Alternate sides. The main errors to avoid are allowing the knee of the squatting leg to excessively pass the toe line, rounding the lower back at the deepest part of the movement, not keeping the extended leg completely straight, transferring weight to the inside of the foot losing ankle alignment, and descending too quickly without control. Start with 3 sets of 6 to 8 repetitions per leg. If your mobility is initially limited, don't force maximum range. Work within what's comfortable and let mobility improve gradually. When you can execute with full range and control, progress by adding 2 repetitions per set or holding a dumbbell of 9 to 13 pounds in front of the chest. This exercise is contraindicated for people with acute knee injuries, severe adductor strain, extremely limited hip mobility causing compensatory pain, or recent history of knee or hip surgery. Exercise number 6, dead hang. The dead hang is the truth revealer that most men over 50 prefer to avoid. If you can't remain hanging from a bar for at least 10 seconds, your body is telling you something important. Grip strength correlates directly with longevity. Studies show that men who can't hang for 30 seconds have significantly higher mortality rates. This isn't cheap motivation, it's consistent scientific data. But it's not just about your hands. This exercise intensely works all grip musculature, including finger flexors, wrist flexors, and forearms, plus the lats, lower and middle trapezius, rhomboids, posterior deltoids, and entire core that needs to stabilize the suspended body. Your entire posterior chain is decompressed when you hang, your spine lengthens, your shoulders gain traction they haven't felt in decades. All those years hunched over desks, steering wheels, and cell phones, hanging reverses this constant compression. It's like pressing the reset button on your posture. To execute correctly, find a pull-up bar or any structure you can hang from that supports your body weight. Jump or use support to reach the bar. Grab with both hands in pronated grip, palms facing forward, hands approximately shoulder width apart. Hang. Let the body completely loose. Shoulders relaxed close to the ears, arms completely extended, feet off the ground. Don't swing, don't kick, don't try to stabilize with movement, just hang and breathe naturally. The main errors to avoid are trying to retract the scapulae and force the shoulders down, which defeats the decompression purpose. Swinging the body to maintain momentum instead of controlling statically, holding your breath, creating unnecessary tension, and dropping from the bar abruptly when grip fails instead of descending controlled. If you can't hang with arms completely extended yet, use a box or bench to keep part of the weight on your feet. Gradually transfer more weight to your arms as you gain strength. Start with 3 attempts of holding for maximum time possible, resting 1 to 2 minutes between them. When you can consistently do 30 seconds, add 5 seconds at a time until reaching 60 seconds. Exercise number 7, farmer's walk. Unlike the unilateral walk where you carry weight only on one side, here you carry heavy weight in both hands and simply walk. Seems too basic to work, but this exercise simultaneously trains grip strength, core stability, and postural endurance, three qualities that directly influence how you age. Grip strength is intimately linked to overall longevity and functional capacity. Carrying heavy weight reinforces spinal alignment and balance under load. This exercise intensely works all grip and forearm musculature, upper trapezius, deltoids, spinal erectors, rectus abdominis, obliques, quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes. The gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the human body, and when well developed through functional exercises like this, it can generate a significant excess post-exercise oxygen consumption effect, increasing your metabolism for hours after training. This simple yet powerful exercise also translates directly to daily activities like carrying groceries, heavy luggage, or any object that needs to be transported. To execute correctly, grab a pair of heavy dumbbells or kettlebells. Start with 33 to 44 pounds in each hand. Stand completely upright with shoulders retracted and back, chest open, and core fully contracted. Walk in a straight line with natural steps for 30 to 45 seconds. Maintain upright posture throughout the entire walk. Don't lean the trunk forward, don't let the shoulders roll inward, don't allow the weights to swing excessively. The main errors to avoid are leaning the trunk forward, losing upright posture, letting the shoulders roll inward as fatigue increases, walking too fast, sacrificing postural control, holding your breath instead of breathing naturally, and dropping the weights without control when grip fails. Your grip will fail before the rest of your body. This is completely normal and expected. It's exactly this failure point that builds real grip strength. Execute 3 to 4 rounds of 30 to 45 second walks, resting 60 to 90 seconds between rounds. When you can complete all rounds with perfect posture, progress by increasing the weight by 4 to 9 pounds per hand or increasing the duration to 60 seconds. And since everything in life is about balance, if you want to know a calmer exercise widely practiced in Asian communities, focusing on healing years of neglect with your own body, we've left a video appearing right now on the screen showing each of them better. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching until here, and God bless you, my friend.